Meanwhile, later that night, the police director shot himself, attempting suicide on the side of I-75. He had surgery and is now recovering. But this incident highlights the difficulties police officers face when it comes to their mental well-being. So I wanted to see what programs are available for Tampa police officers who face stress and trauma on the streets. Tonight, I go in depth, speaking with a lieutenant who runs their officer wellness program about how they help their officers with their mental health.
First, here at 5, we want to start with a Miami-Dade police director who investigators say shot himself in the Tampa Bay area last night.
After a South Florida police director, Freddy Ramirez, tried to die by suicide last week, the severe stress first responders go through was front and center.
I think anytime you see a law enforcement officer that, takes their own life, it hits home very hard.
Lieutenant Lisa Parashis runs Tampa Police's Criminal Investigation Division and their Officer Wellness Program and Behavioral Health Unit. She says officers are faced with challenging calls on a daily basis.
You're on a hypervigilance roller coaster. You're going to 12-hour shifts. Sometimes you're working overnight. You're not getting good sleep. You're on high alert all day. It's a very dangerous profession. You have to realize that every situation you encounter could potentially turn violent.
So the Tampa Police Department now has extensive resources available.
We've broken it into 5 categories. That is our area of focus. So mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, and financial health. And so we try to have programs in each of these categories for the officers to have.
And one of the most successful, TPD's peer support team.
The peer support team is actually guided under a Florida state statute specifically made for first responders. So if they are struggling with things, they can confidentially talk to any of us about those things, and we would not have to necessarily report back the discussion.
Other new resources are also now in place.
Having retreats the officers can go to learn how to better deal with situations. Last year, we implemented a canine therapy program. We've got our equine therapy. We started a family support group.
The lieutenant says the behavioral health unit now checks on the entire family after an officer experiences trauma in the field. And they're proactive, always looking for possible signs an officer's mental health may be suffering.
Maybe they're coming in late and they normally aren't that kind of person. Maybe something about their uniform. We pride ourselves in, presenting ourselves in a very professional manner. And maybe they're coming to work and they look a little sloppy or their shirt's untucked or, some of those signs are saying something's wrong here.
And we want to remind you, if you or someone you know is struggling with their mental health, there is always help available at the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay by calling 211 or at the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, that number 8988.